Hey everyone, in today's video we're going to be looking at how to checkmate with a rook. In order to checkmate with a rook, you need the opponent's king to be on one of the edges of the board. So somewhere like here. And then we're going to use the rook to deliver the mate and to cover all flight squares on that file or rank where the king is. And we're going to use our own king to cover the rest of the flight squares. This is a position we want to reach. Now, in order to drive the king to the edge of the board, we're going to need the aid of the king. You can't do it with a rook alone. That's a difference with mating with a queen, for instance. And so here I'm going to show you two different methods. The first one consists of building this box. We have this box, and we confine the opponent's king to that box. Then we keep shrinking the box until the opponent has to go to the edge of the board. So I'm going to show you how we do that. We go here, for instance. Now the box is like this. Go there, the rook is protected by our king, and the box shrinks. We bring the king. We always bring the king as well. We don't do this just with the rook. Bring the king, shrink the box a little bit. Continue to shrink that box. Box is like this now. Here we are approaching the edge. I'll be very careful here about stalemate. If you go here, that's tragic. Because yeah, you have the king very well confined, but that would be stalemate. You need to allow the king to move between two squares before you deliver the mate. So we go here. Now the king can go here without problems. They go there, you go here. There's only one square that the king can go to, which is this, and then we deliver mate like this. Sometimes you will need to pass a move with a rook in order to get the position. Sometimes the king is going to be in a square where you still can't mate him, but you notice that if they were to move, if it were their turn again in the same position, I mean, if the turns were switched, so if it were your turn in the position where it was their turn, then you would mate. So in that case, you would pass a move. You would move the rook somewhere where you just pass the move back to the other guy, to your opponent, and then you would mate. So this is one method. Then another method, which is perhaps easier but way longer, is this one. We're going to just, let's go here, there. We cut the king with a rook. Just cut him like this. Just cut one file or rank, in this case a file, so that the king can't go over here, he can't cross. So he's confined to this side of the board, to here. The king tries to approach our rook, we bring our own king. Be careful, don't let them take your rook, of course. Go there. Now, why did I move the rook here? I moved the rook because what we're looking for is to get the opposition. We want the kings to be staring at each other. As they are staring at each other, so for instance, if we had our king right here now, instead of here, if we had him here, then we would be able to give this check, and the king would be able to move forward because we would be controlling these three squares. So he would be pushed here, and then we would be shrinking this area. So in this case, we're not thinking so much about the box, we're just thinking about using the rook to cut off the king to another half, so to say. I mean, it's not a half, but like we divide the board in two with the rook, and we keep the king on the on the other side, and we shrink that. So we're looking to get the opposition. Now here, if we move here, then they have the opposition. I mean, it's their turn to move, so we're not going to get the position that we want. We want this position to be reached where the kings are like this, but we want it to be our turn. So since we want to do that, we just make a passing move here with the rook. They're going to go after our rook. We continue to go with the king. And once they are near our rook, well, of course, we have to defend against that. So we move the rook again. The king goes here. Then we want the king to be forced to go here. I mean, to go here, we want him. So that we get this, this staring contest where we can give this check and force him back and make progress. So here, if we go here, for instance, with the king, that's not useful for our purposes. So what we do is we make a passing move. We make a move like this, for instance, moving the rook, keeping the rook on the same file, and then it's their turn again. So they move here. They don't want to allow us to do this, potentially. So we go there, they go here, we go there, and now they really have to do this. I mean, it's either they go here and we check them and we make progress, or they just go back here and then we go here and then we made the same kind of progress. So here, here, there, and now we're cutting like this. Then we bring the king again and repeat the same process. Make a passing move here so that the king gets to the position that we want him in. Here he has to either allow us what we want, or he has to go here, which is also what we want. So that also works. Now we cut off like this, and you can see that we're getting the king to the edge. It's taking a lot longer than with the other method, but we're eventually doing it, and we're not reaching 50 moves, so don't worry about that. Here we get this staring contest again, and finally the king is cut off to the edge of the board. Then we repeat the exact same thing once more, and this time when we deliver the check is going to be checkmate. So here, this is the same thing, but in this case it's checkmate. So again, we're in this staring contest between the kings, and we are cutting the king like this, and we give another check, but the king can't go here. I mean, he can't go to another file because he's already on the edge file. He's already on the edge of the board, so can't go anywhere. And that's the other method. Here it took 39 moves. Let's take it also into account that we started from a really terrible position. Usually when you reach this end game, you're not going to be in the worst possible position, probably. But even if you were, I mean, this will take you around 40 moves. You're not going to reach the 50 move rule unless you really, really mess it up. And otherwise, you can do it the other way. The other way, it took 18 moves, so a lot less with the box method. But this second method that I showed you is, I believe, really, really easy, and I have applied it over and over again, and it has never failed me. So you can use whichever you prefer, and I'll be uploading more videos like this about endgames, and I hope you enjoyed this. If you don't know how to checkmate with a queen, then you can check out my other video about how to do that. However, if you know how to checkmate with a rook, then checkmating with a queen will be very, very easy. So, all right. I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next video.